Imagine being 93 years old
Uh,
and building muscle faster than most people in their 30s. Sounds absolutely impossible, right? Well, today we're diving deep into the incredible real-life story of Margaret Thompson. And what she discovered, well, it will utterly challenge everything you thought you knew about aging and strength.
It really is an amazing story.
Yeah, so our deep dive today is really all about dismantling this entrenched idea that muscle loss and physical decline are just inevitable, part of getting older.
Unavoidable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll be dissecting sources that suggest this conventional wisdom is actually a dangerous lie, that a genuine muscle revolution is entirely possible, even, well into your 90s. We'll explore Margaret's journey from, frankly, frailty to formidable strength, uncover the secret she learned, and look at the powerful science that backs up her remarkable transformation.
And it's not just about fitness, is it?
No, not at all. It's about reclaiming independence, vitality, and really a whole new realm of possibility for your later years. So let's set the scene for Margaret's story. Before her incredible transformation, Margaret Thompson, she was 91 years old and facing struggles that resonate with so many people.
Yeah, I bet.
The sources paint a stark, all too common picture. She couldn't lift a gallon of milk without her grandson's help.
Wow.
She couldn't climb the stairs in her own home without stopping. Twice. Her legs aching just to catch her breath.
That's tough.
And when she sought medical advice, 3 different doctors told her the same kind of disheartening thing, that her muscle loss was, just part of getting older.
Ugh, that phrase.
And that she should simply accept her limitations.
It's advice so many people over 65 are given, isn't it? Almost like it's an unavoidable sentence.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here, I think, is how Margaret's initial situation reflects this widespread, almost ingrained assumption, not just in society, but often within the medical establishment and the fitness industry itself.
This narrative suggests that beyond a certain age, decline is the only path forward. But this deep dive into her story, it profoundly suggests that this entire approach isn't just wrong, but as the source bluntly puts it, dangerous. It actively contributes to millions of seniors becoming weak and dependent.
Also,
by promoting inaction or these ineffective gentle exercises that simply don't build the necessary muscle mass for true independence. It makes genuine reversal harder and harder over time. It becomes a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy of frailty.
that's a powerful and frankly, alarming point. And for Margaret, that dangerous narrative nearly became her permanent reality.
Right.
The pivotal moment in her story, the real turning point, came with a fall. She was simply reaching for a book on a high shelf when her legs just gave out beneath her. And there she lay on her kitchen floor for a terrifying 23 minutes waiting for help to arrive.
23 minutes. That must have felt like an eternity.
Absolutely. That kind of fall, that helplessness, it's a profound fear for so many seniors. But in that moment, as she waited, Margaret made a decision. Something shifted.
Okay.
And then came the key figure, David, the kind paramedic who helped her up. As he was leaving, David leaned in and whispered something to Margaret, something her doctors had never mentioned.
What was it?
He said quietly, "Ma'am, what happened to you today doesn't have to happen again, but you need to know something your doctors won't tell you."
Wow. Okay. That raises a really important question. Why would critical information like that about seniors' health be hidden or unshared?
Yeah, why?
Well, the source suggests there's a multi-billion-dollar industry that actually profits from seniors focusing on these gentle exercises, stuff designed to sort of manage decline rather than promote actual growth and strength.
So like an economic incentive to maintain the status quo.
Exactly. But Margaret's potential wasn't unique, nor was David's understanding. I mean, consider the examples the source provides. A 78-year-old man in Japan who deadlifted an astounding 405 pounds.
405.
Yeah. Or an 85-year-old grandmother in Sweden who ran her first marathon.
Incredible.
These individuals, like Margaret, discovered a fundamental principle that completely defies conventional wisdom about aging. A principle that the system often overlooks or even maybe actively discourages.
That's a pretty stark claim about the industry. So are we talking about the fitness industry actively discouraging effective strength training for seniors, or is it more just not prioritizing it or something else? It sounds like a deliberate blind spot.
I think it's probably less about active, overt discouragement and more about a widespread ingrained culture of what's perceived as safe and appropriate for seniors, which often defaults to low-intensity, low-impact movements that just don't provide the necessary stimulus for muscle growth. The economic model then reinforces this by selling products and programs aligned with that lower-effort decline management approach.
Right.
It creates this cycle where the true potential for strength is simply never explored or even offered.
Okay, so let's unpack this secret that Margaret discovered, because it sounds revolutionary.
It really is.
The sources introduce us to a scientific concept called the longevity activation response. It's a biological phenomenon that isn't triggered by, gentle movements or what most seniors are told to do. Instead, it's activated by a specific type of challenge.
Okay, specific how?
A precise form of resistance that signals to your muscles that they need to grow stronger to protect you. Think like pushing against a sturdy wall with real effort, or performing a controlled deep squat using a chair for balance.
We're using support.
Exactly. Or even stepping up onto a robust, stable step, but done with real intention and focus. The source emphasizes that seniors' muscles are, and I'm quoting here, starving for the signal.
Starving for the signal. I like that.
They're craving the right kind of challenge, not just, movement for movement's sake.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the underlying principle Margaret leveraged is scientifically known as mechanical tension loading.
Okay, sounds complex.
It might sound that way, but it's beautifully simple in its application. Muscles respond directly to tension. When you apply the right amount of tension in the right way, your body, regardless of your chronological age, has no choice but to adapt.
No choice.
Has to build new muscle tissue. It's a fundamental biological imperative. This process actually involves 3 key factors. Mechanical tension itself, the pure force or strain on your muscles.
Okay.
Metabolic stress, that deep burning sensation you feel as muscles work hard and energy systems get taxed.
Yeah, the burn.
Right. And muscle damage, the beneficial micro tears that signal your body to rebuild stronger. The problem is, as the source highlights, most seniors are taught to avoid real tension.
Stay in the comfort zone.
Exactly, to stay strictly within their comfort zone. And this deep dive argues convincingly that this avoidance is precisely the fastest route to continued muscle loss and, ultimately, to dependence.
And Margaret's body, it responded with incredible speed once she started applying this principle. Her transformation timeline is just astonishing.
Tell me about it.
Within the very first month of applying this new knowledge, she noticed she could stand up from her favorite chair without using her arms for support, something she hadn't been able to do in over 3 years.
That's huge, just standing up.
It is. By month 2, she was carrying her own groceries from the car to her kitchen without taking any breaks. Her daughter even noticed she was walking taller, with more confidence, no longer constantly worried about falling.
That must have felt liberating.
Oh, totally. But the real jaw dropper came in month 3. Her doctor ran blood tests and was, as the source describes it, speechless.
Speechless? Why?
Margaret's muscle protein synthesis, markers those biological indicators showing how effectively your body builds new muscle, were higher than most people half her age.
Get out of here. Half her age.
Yeah. Numbers he'd expect to see in someone in their 30s. I bet his jaw hit the floor.
Probably needed a spotter to pick it up. But Margaret just smiled, right? Because she understood something her doctor didn't. Age isn't the limiting factor here. Ignorance is. And what's even more compelling is that her practical routine was so accessible. No expensive gym memberships, no fancy equipment, certainly no dangerous heavyweights.
So what did she do?
It was based on just 5 specific movements, performed 3 times per week for only 20 minutes each session, using primarily her own body weight.
20 minutes 3 times a week. That's it.
That's it. These were often simple, compound bodyweight exercises, things like deep squats, maybe to a chair or against a wall for support.
Okay.
Wall push-ups, controlled step-ups onto a low, sturdy surface, balanced single-leg reaches, glute bridges. The key was intention and precision, learning to really feel the muscles work.
Like she hadn't since her 20s, the source said.
Exactly. Focusing on that tension. This wasn't about brute force. It was about intelligent application of stimulus.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Because Margaret's transformation wasn't just physical, right? It had these profound ripple effects.
On her whole life.
Yeah, her entire life and community. Her newfound physical independence meant she started volunteering at an animal shelter, confidently walking large dogs that require real strength and control, not something a frail 91-year-old could typically manage.
Wow, walking big dogs.
She gardened again. Not just light weeding, but moving bags of soil, planting small trees. Most importantly, she began living without that constant gnawing fear of falling that shadows so many seniors.
That's liberating. A huge mental burden lifted.
Totally. But it wasn't just her body. Her mental transformation was equally remarkable. She went from fearing her body to trusting her strength, looking forward to challenges that would have terrified her before.
Like what?
Like trying a dance class she'd always dreamed of, planning a solo trip to visit an old friend across the country, even taking up painting again, now with steady hands.
That's fantastic.
She became more assertive, adventurous, optimistic, even planning projects and adventures years into the future, something she hadn't done since her 70s.
And what's fascinating here is how her personal change inspired this collective shift, kind of rippling outwards.
Yeah.
Her story spread like wildfire, apparently. Other seniors in her community began forming a group around her, all committed to proving that strength truly has no expiration date.
A little strength evolution.
Kind of. The source gives compelling examples. 89-year-old Robert, who went from using a walker to hiking 3-mile trails.
3 miles.
Then there's 77-year-old Susan, who started lifting her grandchildren again for the first time in years. Imagine that joy.
Oh, that's lovely.
And 94-year-old William, who began splitting his own firewood instead of paying someone. A true sign of robust functional strength.
Incredible stories.
Each one reinforces the same core truth. The human body remains remarkably adaptable throughout life. When given the proper stimulus and adequate recovery, it powerfully challenges that widespread belief in inevitable decline.
And importantly, this isn't just an inspiring anecdote, is it? The science behind Margaret's transformation is rock solid.
Absolutely.
We're talking about research backed by prestigious institutions. Harvard Medical School, the Mayo Clinic,
Top-tier research.
and a groundbreaking study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that people in their 80s and 90s who followed proper resistance training protocols built muscle at rates indistinguishable from people in their 20s.
Indistinguishable. Let that sink in. 80s and 90s building muscle like 20-something.
It's mind-blowing. And another study, American Journal of Medicine, followed 1,200 seniors over 2 years, showed progressive resistance training not only built muscle, but actually reversed markers of biological aging.
Reverse them.
Leading to more energy, better balance, stronger bones, sharper mental function. It's like turning back the clock from the inside out.
Yeah, and stepping back to the broader implications. These studies, coupled with Margaret's remarkable story, they powerfully demonstrate that the decline we so often associate with aging is largely, well, optional.
Optional, that's the word.
The key difference isn't chronological age. It's the approach we take. When we challenge our bodies appropriately, we can maintain and even build significant strength well into our 90s and beyond.
Right.
Margaret's protocol intelligently addressed those 3 key factors for muscle building. We discussed mechanical tension, metabolic stress, muscle damage, but applied them specifically for senior bodies. Lower volume, maybe, but higher intensity work, prioritizing safety and effectiveness.
And nutrition played a part too.
Critically, it included a vital nutritional component often overlooked in seniors. Adequate protein intake spread evenly throughout the day to fuel that muscle synthesis and repair.
Okay, protein's key.
And it also highlighted intelligent recovery. Understanding that recovery needs are often more about the type and intensity of exercise than just age itself. Seniors can recover more effectively than many assume.
So what does this all mean for you listening to this deep dive right now? Margaret's method, it isn't complicated or risky. The sources make it clear it's something anyone can learn.
Regardless of where you're starting from. Exactly. Regardless of current fitness level or past experience. The key practical takeaways for you, our listener, are pretty straightforward. First, understand progressive overload.
Gradually increasing the challenge.
Yeah, gradually and safely increasing the challenge to your muscles over time, adapted specifically for your body. Learning to distinguish between productive, growth-stimulating challenge and dangerous stress. Second, cultivate a profound mindset shift. Move from passively managing perceived decline to actively promoting growth and expansion of your physical capabilities. Challenge those limiting beliefs.
Huge. The mental game.
Third, you need to listen to your body and embrace muscle fatigue as a sign of progress, that you're creating adaptation, not something to avoid or fear.
Fatigue is feedback.
Right. Fourth, prioritize nutrition, specifically adequate protein spread throughout the day to support muscle repair and growth. And finally, understand that with intelligent, targeted exercise, recovery for seniors can actually be faster and more effective than typically assumed.
Allowing for consistent progress. Yeah. Remember, Margaret wasn't naturally athletic. She'd never been particularly strong, and she started her transformation at 91. If Margaret could do it, what could you achieve if you started today?
Makes you think.
Margaret's story is just such a powerful testament to the human body's remarkable, almost unbelievable capacity for adaptation and growth at any age. It absolutely shatters that conventional narrative of inevitable decline.
The one that permeates our culture.
Right. And this deep dive, it isn't just about building muscle. It's about reclaiming agency over your physical experience, refusing to accept decline as the only option available to you as you grow older.
And Margaret's journey, it really began with that single decision, didn't it? To reject the limitations others had placed on her. Her story leaves us with a profound and frankly urgent question for every one of us listening.
What's that?
Is the decline we associate with aging truly inevitable? Or is it largely a choice we make, maybe unconsciously, by passively accepting conventional limitations, thereby missing out on the remarkable potential that still lives within our bodies, just waiting to be awakened? Wow.
We really hope this deep dive inspires you to explore what's truly possible for your own body starting today, and to maybe challenge those narratives of limitation, both external and internal.